Shalom, beautiful people. How are you? I hope you guys are doing well. It's a beautiful day outside. So I'm sitting in front of the windows, and just a little word of caution, the wind's kind of strong today. So if you feel that in the speakers, or you hear that in the speakers, I apologize, but it's so nice. I don't want to close the windows. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I really want to pull some energies for the collective. I was doing it for myself this morning, and I was focusing on this ancestral wound that is being healed for myself specifically. And I kind of wanted to get nosy with the collective and just see what you guys, what your healing is looking like. And the reason why I want to do this too is I'm wondering if some of you are having a difficult time like really nailing down what it is that needs to be healed in your bloodline. So this is a general reading for the collective, but I believe that there's big groups of karmic cycles that are clearing right now. So, and I'm a little spacey because I've already been channeling for a while. But we're gonna re-pray, okay? Spirit, I thank you for the messages received so far. I pray that now we can clear, cleanse, bless, and protect me, my space, and my home. I pray that any negative energies or entities that are not of your light are sent back to wherever it is that they need to be, because they're not here. Ancestors, ascended masters, guardian angels, and spiritual teams, we thank you for the love, guidance, and protection that you provide through the Most High. I pray that any and all messages that I receive are for the collective's highest good, abundance, sustenance, prosperity, creativity, and legacy building at this time. I thank you. I love you. Ashe. 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 All right, collective. So let's get into this ancestral wound energy, okay? Let's see what some groups in the collective is healing right now. This is gonna be fun. I feel like I'm being nosy and getting into y'all's business, sorry. I do. I was like, I want to be nosy right now. For some of you, it's the ego and the self-talk, because I just heard my own ego tell me, like, we don't have to post this if we don't want to. Why are we doing it then? What the fuck is the point of doing this if we're not gonna post it, if we're not gonna provide it to the collective? It doesn't matter how much of my weirdness is coming out. But for some of you, the big, deep ancestral wound is self-doubt and negativity, like this pessimistic attitude. And for some of you, it's a generational thing of your family allowing your ego and comfort zones to stop them from experiencing. I just heard the adventure of life. So for some in the collective, the deep wound and the deep healing is the fucking ego. It is the ego. The only way that you can do that is through the dark. You can't do that through the light. You go into the pits of hell, I heard. You go into the pits of hell and you bring it up to the light. That's how you heal this. It is a deep, deep, pessimistic, like, I can't type of mindset. Like, I cannot. Why? Why can't you? And then we have overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. The number 7. I'm not fucking playing about this number right now. This number is 7 is so incredibly important in the collective. I know in the last reading, right, one of the cards said to go a year back, but I'm telling you, if you went a year back, go to 2016. Go 7 years back. Or here, you can go like 7, 14, 21, 28, right? Different 7-year cycles in your life. But for me personally, it's 2016, like, and I've been doing the work with it. I actually want to get this out of the book because this has to do with this healing the ego, the internal self-talk for some of you. Just getting out of that comfort zone. It says too much, overwhelm, and plenty. Okay. It says so many good things are headed your way. This is like your word of caution I just heard. This is your word of caution right now. If this is what you're healing, this is your word of caution. Pay attention to 7. I'm so dead serious about 7. It's so crazy right now. So many good things are headed your way or are already occurring in your life right now. Yet you may be thinking that they're not possible or you're not worthy of them. This could be at the root of this ego, of this self-talk, of this staying in comfort zones, of this not allowing yourself to experience the adventure of life because you really don't believe that you're worthy. What are you not worthy of? Why do you feel less than? We're gonna break this down. We're gonna break this energy down and then I just saw a vision of how this reading's gonna go. So we're gonna focus on this first, obviously. It says abundance is everyone's natural state before we project our restrictions on it. Defining what it means, defining what it means, who has it, who gets it, and so forth. Now take yourself out of your conditioning and look at your life through the eyes of plenty. There is so much beauty and love, opportunities and divine synchronicities destined to support your dreams abound and are lined up for you. Yet it's sometimes difficult to discern it all because you're bombarded with too much information and stimulation, distracting you from the truth that all is well. I'm really getting this so sometimes all this overflow can be overwhelming and you may find yourself responding with empathy overload. This is like sacrificing your own happiness for other people's happiness as well. Okay, can we break this down more? Let's break this energy down more. I might use tarot today. This is something new. Something new. But yeah, let's break this energy down more. This lacking mindset. This self-talk, this people-pleasing. I just heard following the trend. This following the trend energy. I heard submissive to the trends. I'm literally picturing someone going from one side of the line to one group to the other side of the line to the other group, and it going back and forth. And it's like a person who can't stand in their own space and say, no, this is how I feel. Instead, they're constantly masking their own internal truth by like outside perspectives. I keep on, and this is like during, this is so weird because the people are dressed as pilgrims. Like, this is like Salem witch trial vibes. I just heard knowing the truth and not speaking it. Knowing the truth and not speaking it. Forgiveness. For some of you in the collective who is dealing with this energy and knows and is resonating with this very deeply, the thing that you need to do is you need to, everyone says that forgiveness comes from within, but we're talking about ancestral healing right now. So if you're looking at the position that your family holds and you're wondering why there was never this spark or this self-identity that was really profound within your bloodline, that's a forgiveness that you have to provide your ancestors. But the only way that you can tap into this type of forgiveness is by I just heard vision quest. It's literally like you have to put yourself in your ancestors' shoes during that time. And some of you guys may be getting strong visions right now. I'm getting really strong like pictures. Some of you guys might be getting this. And maybe this has to do with the 7-year and 1-year energy too. Placing yourself back in those shoes and understanding who you were at that time, place, space, moment allows you to be able to do that with your ancestors so that you can forgive this type of energy and then really, really blossom. Look at the way the hands are. It's like a blossoming. I didn't even notice that until now. There's a bridge. There's a bridge that is created through the stars, through healing, right? Star energy is healing energy. There's a bridge that's created through the duality. This is how you forgive. And you see the eye there? It's like a third eye. You have to go on some sort of vision quest, collective, to really, and this can be done through meditation. You don't make this difficult. I just heard don't make it too hard. It's not that hard. All you have to do is ask your ancestors to show you. And they're willing and they're ready to show you because they want this to be healed. They want so much more for you. They want you to understand your worthiness. They want you to understand that their mistakes do not and will not and should not be your own. Have the strength to do the work. You have the strength to do the work. So do it. Tough. But you see this cycle, this card is insane. This card is giving me so many vibes right now. Okay, you see this one right here? Hold on, let me see if I can get this to focus. I don't know if this is focusing well. I can't tell. Right here though, this is a circle. This is the karmic cycle, right? And actually, it should go this way. This is a karmic cycle. And you see, when healing, the star is reached, the next part that goes into this is the darkness. The moon represents the dark. So you have to go into this darkness right now. Collective, this is very general right now too. You have to go into this darkness and come out the other end for the healing. And this is the cycle. This is the cycle, man. This is the karmic cycles. These are the lesson cycles that we go through. Not just here on this plane and on this dimension of existence. This is how the cycles work. There are such things as universal laws that apply to every single dimension, that apply to every single being within that dimension. This is not new shit, right? This is not new shit. I don't want to talk about that right now. I don't want to talk about that right now. I don't want to get into that. Sorry, I'm like, again, I'm not going to apologize. Let's get one more card for this particular energy, and then we'll move on to a different one. We'll get a different energy. I feel like we're gonna touch on possibly 3 different energies. We do 10 to 15 minutes each, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up. I hope you guys are doing well. Please like the video. It really does help. You know what else helps? Me not wrapping my head. Because if you notice, YouTube, that's why I don't fuck with platforms. I swear. I swear. I censor the shit out of people, man. If you're doing something that they don't approve of, man, they will censor the fucking shit out of you. Straight up. And I see it in my videos. Y'all can't see it, but I see the numbers, man. I see the numbers. I see it. It's a spiritual message. Can we get one more energy to couple with this card, please? It's 41. Oh, man. There we go. Source. Go to source, baby. Yeah, go to source. Go to source for the spiritual message. Look, this came out and then this came out. The spiritual message is to go to source. Utilize source right now. Source is there for you. Source is always there for you. What do we say? Anytime I call, who always picks up? Fucking spirit. Spirit always picks up. Collective. This is how you this is where your abundance comes from. Your abundance doesn't come from your 3D reality. It can be reflected in your 3D reality in certain types of ways. And maybe that's a message for some of you. I have a feeling that might be the energy that we're going into next, right? Understanding that I was told to pause, so I'm going to pause on that. It might not be for this. Yeah, abundance always comes from source. So go to source, right? Rely on that relationship first. That relationship should always come before any other relationship, straight up. I just heard that relationship comes before your individual relationship. And when I say individual relationship, I mean with the self, right? I'm talking about with the self. Okay, I just heard new energy. Let's get a new energy. Okay, let's clear that out. Thank you so much for that. Truly, truly grateful. Okay, let's get another collective ancestral wound, or ancestral, yeah, healing that's happening at this time. It needs to be addressed, these old wounds. Please clear out that old energy. ancestors are really fucking funny right now. I'm not gonna lie. I just heard like papers shuffling. And that, for me, that means them being like, okay, we need to get a new energy. Like, what? I think they're putting their shit together for this new energy. They're shuffling the papers around, clearing out the old, getting ready to talk about the new stuff. That's so funny. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the new energy. You guys ready? I just heard, put a smile on your face. Make the world a better place. Put a smile on your face. What you wanna do? Hey, what you wanna do? Yeah. My God, it's so old. It seems so old. What a good song. Who sang that song? Put a smile on your face, make the world a better place. Put a smile on your face, what you wanna do, hey, what you wanna do. Okay, this new energy though. It's healing energy. This is a card that I keep staring at. We got a few cards that just came out. Reconciliations. I'm gonna get this from the book, because this whole put a smile on your face energy song that just came out, and in the tree you can see, I think this is called the Wailing Tree. Wailing Tree, yeah, you can see the pain. And it's so funny because this is an ancestor inside the trees. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's many different cultures that believe that our ancestors, when they pass, they transform into a tree. They go into the trees, which I have a belief in this too, because when I was in Scotland, which is crazy because a year ago this month is when I left for Scotland. I was getting ready to leave for Scotland. And when I was in Scotland, the ancestor's name was Kunanti, who revealed itself to me through a sycamore tree. And that was my plant when I was there, because we had to choose a plant. And mine was a tree, right? Okay, let's get this out of the book. That's really cool. Okay, it says grief, mourning, a time of necessary losses, reconciliations. When you encounter the wailing tree on your path, it is an invitation to stay a while and regroup. A place for you to rest and allow yourself to say goodbye to what no longer serves. You may have been overdoing things, working too hard, or putting too much effort into life with little reward. This is what I was talking about with the 3D reality. This is what I was going to talk about. They're like, let us do it for you. If you've been considering making a change, now is the time to do so. One important thing to consider before you make any changes is that you need to allow yourself to feel your disappointment, your loss, and mourn what was and what could not be. This has to do with the 7-year thing, I'm telling you. This is how the 7-year is how there's something that happened 7 years ago for some of you, or I'm also getting the 7, 14, 21, 28 cycle, right? There is a 7-year cycle in your life where different events happened, and they're happening to you so that you can heal them. And when you heal them, It heals your ancestors, because this is not a cycle that's just about you, and your job may have, one of your jobs here in this dimension may specifically be, for some of you in the collective, this is very specific, your job is specifically to heal this karmic cycle so that it doesn't go on to other generations. You signed up for this. I don't know why I got that attitude. It's like it's like an auntie attitude. Like, you signed up for this. Let's have a talk. Sit down. We need to talk. I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad. I'm your auntie. And if you can't be honest with me, who are you being honest with? You need to be honest here. Take a real hard look at where you're at, collective, and understand how sometimes you're staying in a current position because there needs to be something that needs to be healed, and you're not out of it because you need to heal it. It's not necessarily anything to do with you not doing what you're supposed to do. Sometimes it's you're not aware enough at this point yet to understand, but you have to be in this place to be able to heal this fucking thing. And be very honest with yourself. If you look really, really deeply at your own habits, I heard habits, your own characteristics, your own, like what, it has to do with your immediate surroundings too. I need coffee. I'm getting really like, cause I don't have any kids, right? I'm an auntie though, so I have 3 kids. So I always say I have kids that didn't come out of me. This is how I would talk to when my kids get older, this is how I'm going to talk to them. Like, we need to be honest here. I'm not your mom, I'm not your dad. I'm not going to go running and telling on you, but we need to have a real honest conversation about the position that you're in and why you're in it. Be honest with yourself. Use me as a tool to be able to hear yourself speak and be honest with yourself. This is really weird. I'm sorry. This is really weird. For some of you, you have an idea of what it is that's going on. And as soon as you speak that thing, as soon as you speak that idea, you're like, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I get this like, wait a minute. That doesn't even fucking sound right. Some of you have been having this idea and this mindset and this frame of understanding reeling around in your head. I just keep on getting like a hamster wheel energy. And when you finally like find a space of your own, you can even do this in the fucking car. There's a car that just drove past, right? You can drive in your car and talk about this thing out loud. Talk to yourself and see how it sounds. Does it even sound right? Like, does it sound right? I have a feeling that as soon as you speak this thing out loud, you're like, that doesn't even fucking sound right. I don't even know why. For years, maybe not even years. I said years, so it might be years. For years, I thought this was that, but I'm speaking on it and it doesn't even fucking sound right. What is happening? This is you. You're like, what is happening? What? How did we get here? You understand how you got to that place by doing the retrospective work right now. Everyone in the collective is called to do retrospective work right now. If you're really tapping in, if you really didn't recently make that fool's jump and take that fool's journey off the side of the cliff, knowing that you wouldn't land, that you wouldn't die, you would land on your feet, right? If you a couple months ago said, we're doing this, right? This is a part of the new cycle work, right? It all started with the decision to change your reality. That's what it is. That's what I was going to talk about too. There's a disconnect with some of you. Some of you are in the ethers. Some of you are in the ethers, like doing your fucking thing, man. This has to do with that warrior, that grounding your warrior spirit that we talked about a couple weeks ago too. Some of you guys are in the ethers, in the dreamscape. Yo, a giant fucking hawk just flew by. That fucker was getting something, man. And we have ego medicine here too. Look, the divine is like, take a higher perspective. You're in other ethers doing the fucking things, right? Trust that as you address this cycle, abundance is just going to come in. There's a backlog of abundance for you. I'm being told to finish this too. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna read this part again. It says, one important thing to consider before you make any changes is that you need to allow yourself to feel your disappointment, your loss, and mourn what was and what could not be. This is a way to honor your experience, to give yourself time to consider all the gifts in it, to put proper closure on it, to really know what you've learned as you walk away from it and into something new, even in the perception of failure. This may have to do, again, with your ancestors just not getting it right. That's what I heard. And like that. That's the way it was said too. They just didn't get it right. And that's okay, right? Because in your lifetime, in your cycle here, you are getting it right, collective. You are getting it right. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Don't think that when you take this higher perspective, you will understand that. So this card is number 9 too. That's self-satisfaction. When you take the higher perspective and really look at yourself through a different lens, there's a different understanding and respect. I'm hearing self-respect comes from this energy too. It says, even in the perception of failure, there is much good to be discovered. However, skipping the stages of loss doesn't get you to reconciliation any faster. In fact, you will discover that you will have to come back at some point. So do it all now. Look at it all squarely and honestly and stay with your feelings. This is what I just talked, that TT energy, man. You need to be, some of you in the collective are not being completely honest with yourself as to why you are where you are. And then this is standing out next. Everything that glitters is not gold, right? Everything that glitters is not gold. And you being able to take this higher perspective now is going to help. There's options here. That's what I just heard. There's options here. In order to understand the options that are truly meant for you, you have to take the higher perspective and have the self-respect to understand where it is exactly that you want to go. Not everything that glitters is gold. Not every option is going to bring you closer to your personal journey, not your personal journey, right? To your, I heard alignment, to what is meant for you. And then we have new beginnings and grace and generosity. But do you see when I said there's a backlog? There's still, it's like one more layer. You see this? I've shown this card before. It's like she's pushing up against a layer of film. I keep on hearing a film. I don't know why. She's pushing up against a film. And it's not ready. And I keep... Oh, onions have layers. That's from Shrek, if you don't know. It's a great movie. Anyways. You're pushing up against a film collective. And it's like, this is where I keep talking about the backlog, right? Once you push past this, once you recognize and understand this, once you heal this, once you have the self-respect, the self-discipline, once you are able to fully allow yourself to heal, take your time there, be honest with yourself, once you break past this film, the backlog of abundance that's owed to you will come in. Grace and generosity, very gracefully, it's going to come in. And I heard prime time, like the timing is everything. Okay, I heard new energy, so we're gonna get a new energy. All right, well, so that's for some in the collective too. We're at 35 minutes. This is beautiful. We've covered 2 energies within the collective on healing their ancestral wounds and paying attention. Now, again, only take what resonates. Some of these energies can be overlapping, right? I don't know. It's all up to you. It's all up for interpretation. Okay, let's clear that energy, please. All right. Let's dive into another ancestral wound that the collective is healing at this time, please. I heard getting in people's business. Now, I don't know if that's for me or if that's for the collective. You're really getting into people's business right now, right? I heard gossip columnist. This is definitely not for me. Maybe it is. I don't know. That is something that I see in the spiritual community, though. And I'm not dogging anyone, but I just find it really interesting because I look at numbers, right? I find it really interesting the types of readings that people pay attention to. It's really interesting, the divide. There's like a dividing line. It's like people love to hear about other people's karma that they're receiving. For some reason, it makes them feel good. And I don't know. Maybe this is that gossip energy. I don't know why. This is why I know this isn't for me, because I actually actively like get those people off of my shit. I don't want to see it for some reason. It really bothers me. And again, I'm not dogging them, because you do what you got to do, man. If that's the energy that you read for, that's the energy that you read for. But if that is what people are constantly watching, like nosing around in other people's business to see, look, it's shadow stuff. Like that's how I feel. It's like the shadow pointing the finger at everybody else around them. And those type of readings allow people to do that instead of taking a step back and looking at themselves in the mirror. They're like, yeah, that person deserves that because they did this, this, and this to me. But how many of you actually sit there and say, well, why did they do this, this, and this to you? What is it about you that was being reflected back to you? Why did you accept those type of behaviors in your life? This is shadow work. And this is why I was just thinking about this morning. It's crazy. This is why I have the last reading I did at the end. I was getting kind of sassy about certain things, because I think it's because almost every single person that I know that calls themselves a light worker, whether they realize it or not, the only reason why they got to that point is because they had to do dark work first. Almost every fucking person that I know had to do some sort of dark work first. They had to do the dark work first before they understood the light work. I just heard there's levels to this shit. Like, what type of shit, honestly, collective? I heard gossip columnist again. Like, some of you are really playing in, some of the people in the collective are really playing in this like psychosis fucking energy. Like, where you are constantly projecting. It's a victim mentality. You're constantly projecting your issues onto the outside world, not understanding that it's only a reflection of your inner self. It's only a reflection of your inner world, right? It's only a reflection of your inner world. You have to dive deep into the shadows. I'm going to read this out of the book. I haven't read this one in a really long time. It says, Will-o'-the-wisp hovers in her luminescent glory above the twilight moors of your life, whispering for you to step into the fog and into the mystery, the unknown. You may have been visited by her before. This is self-work. This is literally shadow work. This is some of you. The only way that your lesson and your thing, I don't know why this doesn't even look like it, but I just heard, what is that? It's not sorcerer's stone, it's sword in the stone. That's weird. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I don't know, maybe that was someone's like favorite movie growing up, Sword in the Stone. And I'm seeing the part where he was a squirrel. I don't know why. This is weird. This is funny. Anyways, I don't even remember what I was saying. Sorry. That vision just completely fogged over. All right, we're talking about stepping into the fog. That vision completely fogged over what it was that I was gonna say. So, moving on. You may have been visited by her before. That's what I was talking about, shadow work. Some of you guys are avoiding the shadow work that needs to happen right now. And remember, we are in preparation season. Shadow work is like preparation. Remember the star in the card? Remember the star in the card, that cycle that was being shown? I don't know where that card is. Yep, that's right here. That cycle that's being shown, right? The healing. And the only way you get back to the top of the healing is you have to go through the darkness first to finish the cycle. You have to do the shadow work first. This is why, man, you guys have to be careful who you are allowing to read for you. Holy shit. Sorry. And this is not me trying to boast myself up. This is what I tell people all the time. Legit. I had someone, right? We talked about this last reading with understanding your tuition and certain people being able to work with you now versus then and how they can't, right? I had this person tell me that she is a spiritual being and she's, okay, I'm gonna be an asshole right now. So I'm just letting my shadow have a little bit of shine, okay? Sometimes we shake hands on it, okay? She's like, I started my spiritual journey 10 years ago. And then she's talking about how she started her spiritual journey 10 years ago. And then she was telling me that she was asking her boyfriend what she should be praying to. And I don't know if I'm just being an asshole and if this is me like truly judging, because I do that still. I'm a fucking human being. But I'm sorry, if you're truly a spiritual being and you've been on this journey for 10 years and you still don't know what it is that you're supposed to be praying to or who you pray to, I don't give a fuck who you pray to, right? But every single spiritual person knows what they fucking pray to if they're truly spiritual. This is her, like, honestly, this is her energy. This is fucking crazy. This is why I'm irritated by it. Sorry. I'm not trying to be irritated. Anyways. Okay. It would be safer. It would be safer, you decided, to remain on the journey you know. This is the comfort zone. While you always have a choice as to whether to follow her or not, you never know when you might encounter her again. In this sense, turning away has its own consequences. Why is the known so appealing? It's only when you wake up to its restrictions, its soft prison or golden cage, that you realize there must be more. I just heard my ancestors like, there's no fucking golden cage on this side. What do you mean? There's no golden cage. There's no sort of abundance in this. There is zero abundance in the victim mentality. This is the energy that I'm getting off of this card, and this is why it's bothering me so much. I can't stand that mindset. Like, I don't have patience for it. I really fucking don't. And maybe I need to, because at one point in my life, I don't know if I ever saw myself as a victim, but at one point in my life, I was very close to seeing myself as a victim. And I switched it real quick. I did not like it. I didn't like the way that I felt. Even when you say the word victim, it has a certain vibration to it. Like, I don't play in this realm. I'm not a victim. I've never been a victim. And I've had some fucked up shit happen to me. Straight up. Not just me in this lifetime. I'm talking about generational lifetimes. This is a generation of your ancestors seeing themselves as a victim and them not being able to push past their own fucking demons because they won't do the work to understand their fucking demons, man. Everybody has them. Stop playing. Yo, everybody has them. Stop fucking playing with me. I don't know why the word virtue signaling just came up. Virtue signaling. I don't know what that means. Again, I need a fucking dictionary next to me. I heard this is such repressive energy. Like, it's so... There's so much peace in the dark. And how do you expect to find peace if you don't take the time to understand your internal demons? How do you expect to find peace if your internal demons are running a fucking muck? Like, how do you expect to find peace? If you're one of these people who are out here picking up on this energy of somebody who can't have a conversation with somebody else who doesn't feel the way that they do, or who refuses to recognize their feelings, and they're just triggered by all of this conversation is triggering me right now. You might be triggered by what the fuck I'm saying right now, okay? Let me tell you something. Your triggers and your problems have nothing to do with anybody else. It has everything to do with you and your lack of self-awareness, your lack of understanding your own internal demons. What is it about you that can't hear an opposing opinion to your own? And you, I don't know who this is, but you are running amok, running around calling everybody a fucking narcissist when you do not look yourself in the mirror. I'm in total TT fucking vibe right now. I'm total anti-vibe right now. Like, this has to do with the honest truth too. So the last energy and this energy is really intertwined, right? This has to do with you being honest with yourself, being able to look at yourself in the mirror and saying, okay, I'm just a human being. And if all of these people around me can do horrible shit, obviously I have the capacity to do horrible shit. And maybe I should be honest with myself about the horrible shit that I've done and stop seeing myself as a victim and start seeing myself as someone in fucking power who chooses the situations that I put myself in the first fucking place. I keep hearing why. Ask yourself that question. Why? That is the only question that you should be asking yourself right now. Nothing to do with ask yourself why you are choosing, why you cannot hear, why you cannot see, why you refuse to feel, why you refuse to stand up and stand in your own fucking power. Because once you understand your power, this victim mentality has no space in you or in the people that you surround yourself with. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Who is your people? Who do you consider to be your fucking people right now? I just saw 2 dragonflies. Who are you considering to be your people right now? Like, and this is that gossip energy. We're still in that gossip columnist type of fucking energy. Like, a gossip columnist to me is a victim mentality person who just likes to fucking get into other people's business while they don't have the time to get into their own. Like, get into your own fucking business. Stop minding other people's business. Don't be the weirdo in the fucking window watching the neighbors walk down the street. Like, check yourself. Chickity check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay? Okay? That's fantastic. Like, you have a really hard lesson to learn. Pick a side, bitch. Pick a side. That's what I just heard. Pick a side, bitch. Just like that. I don't know why my ancestors are so fucking animated, but they are. Pick a side, bitch. Pick a side. As a matter of fact, we don't want you on our side because you don't take any type of responsibility. We don't have victims on our side. Like, no. We don't have victims on our side. We have strong ass people. If you want to be around certain people and you wonder why you are not allowed to be in certain types of energies, it's because of your energy, your low vibrational ass. Like, sorry, my shadow is like getting some shine time right now. So, but honestly, I feel like my higher self and my shadow are shaking hands because maybe this is how some of you in the collective need to be spoken to. Maybe some of you really need an auntie to sit you down and be like, no, this is nobody's fucking problem but your own, bitch. Figure it out. You're a grown ass adult. Figure it out. It is nobody's fucking problem but yours. It's your problem. Like, maybe that is what you are healing within your ancestry, right? You're healing this projective energy. This energy of, well, if I don't do this, this will happen to me. How do you know? How do you know? And then we have flowing river and shapeshifter. Some of you, this is how you're healing. This is how you tap into this, and this is how you heal it. I really have to pee. Whee! The way to move into flow is through gratitude and appreciation, and that is not relevant and present in a victim mindset. There is no gratitude, there is no appreciation. Everything is woe is me. The way to move into flow is through gratitude and appreciation, and by allowing others to support and help you. Heed the Native American saying, it's best to ride the horse to the direction that it's going. This means that when the card Flowing River chooses you, you're being told to let go and go with the flow. If there is something or someone you need to forgive, this is the time. This is also the time to forgive yourself and just let go. That has a lot to do with projective energy too, because a lot of times when people are in this space of projection, and here's the thing, like, I understand, okay? Like, there once was a time in my life, but for real though, where I was so angry that I was just angry and mad at everybody and everything. And the only way that I got to the bottom of it was through gratitude and appreciation. And then when I was in a certain state of gratitude and appreciation was when I could go down and do the fucking shadow work. Because I knew that I had something to be grateful for. See, this is the thing about shadow work that nobody ever talks about. You should not just dive into this type of thing if you are not in a space of knowing what you are grateful for, of knowing your blessings, first what you need to do is you need to figure out what you are blessed with. You need to figure out what around you are grateful for. You need to figure out what people you're truly, truly connected to and why you're grateful for them before you go into this type of fucking shadow work. When you have a victim mentality, it is one of the hardest cycles to get out of because it takes so much self-responsibility to get out of it. I don't believe in taking full responsibility for every single situation that you find yourself in because other people do play a role and do play a part in certain situations. I do believe in taking full responsibility for the choices that you have made as an individual to get you to where you are today. But before you can have radical fucking responsibility, you have to have a fucking almost a radical appreciation for what you have right now. It's gonna save you, is what I just heard. It will save you from going. Some of you are prone to depression, so really holding on to what it is that you're grateful for. If you feel like you need to do shadow work, hold on to what you're grateful for. That is going to save you when it comes to this type of shadow work, okay? And then we're going to go into shapeshifter. It says, you can be anything you desire. Let go of attachment to your identity. See the world around you with new eyes. Be malleable. Experiment with different ways of viewing reality. Experimenting with life, the adventure of life, right? See the point of view of others. Take yourself outside of yourself, collective, right? Victims do not do that. Victims are always going to be a victim. If you can learn to take yourself outside of yourself and see why perspectives change, right? This is hangman energy, man. If you haven't been able to manifest your dreams, maybe you need to shift the way you see the person or situation. Man, I really have to pee. I feel like there's one more card and I have to pee so bad. So you guys can skip whatever it is. I'll be right back, okay?
Oh, shit.
Okay. I'm back. Okay, we have another card that needs to come out with this energy. I love you guys, by the way. Oh, I feel so much better. I feel so much better. Okay. So final thoughts on this energy, please. I want to move off of this. Give me a longer video. Yay. I really do have an amazing view at my house. Across the street is a barn with horses, woods. All the flowers are in bloom. It's quite exciting. Okay, final message for this energy, please. I just heard sit with it a while. Message of guidance 369. I heard harmony. There's a harmony that's going to come into the collective after doing this, shifting this mindset, going through the this is literally, I keep on feeling like this is like your shadow self and your higher self making a pinky promise. Like, if I promise to go down and do this work, first of all, we have to do it together. And second of all, you have to promise me that you're not going to leave me out to dry. You're not going to leave me hanging out to dry once it gets too hard. No, we need to heal this. We need to understand our demons, and we need to ascend. And the only way that we ascend is by ascending the darkness. That's how you ascend to the light. You ascend the darkness within. Some of you guys have never had anybody tell you this before. The way that you truly ascend in this life is through the dark work. Every single light worker is a fucking dark worker, and every single dark worker is a light worker. Like, we gotta stop getting rid of this fucking... It's just you play in different realms more frequently, I guess you could say. And for me personally, I don't find, to me, there is no difference. Honestly, it's one and the fucking same, right? We're all born with divine masculine, divine feminine. We're all born with yin and yang. We're all born with shadow and fucking higher self. We're all born with the ego and the inner child. Like this, it's one and the same. It's one system. It's one system. And then this is 10, communication. Ooh-wee. A message of guidance is communication. Look, and I was just talking about literally your higher self and your shadow communicating and making a pact and pinky promising each other. And through that communication, this is also 10 energy. This is completion energy and beginning energy, right? Communication. It all starts and ends with proper fucking communication. Like, what a great thing. What a great thing. All right, I'm gonna end with that, and look at, I didn't even notice this. She's in a meditative sit. You see her hands? She's in a meditative state. She's literally communicating with her internal self, her different aspects of self, and is really, and I think this, I'm picturing this as a lotus flower. There's something that's truly blossoming within. I heard harmony. There's a harmony. There's a peace that's coming with doing this work, with getting out of this fucking mindset. I heard allowing yourself to be wrong. Some of you guys are so terrified of being wrong. Why? I'm wrong all the time. Like, I'm wrong all the time. Man, the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm gonna end this energy with that. I was told earlier, I don't know if I said this, but they were talking about the tarot deck. So let's just pull a couple cards with this just to end this reading. We've been here a while. I thank you guys for being here. You guys are beautiful, beautiful beings. What a beautiful day, honestly. Okay, I don't know if this is the right one. Let's get a closing message for the collective. Right. Things are looking up. The end of a situation, an Empress energy, abundance. Taking a trip. Some of you guys might need to travel to have the space to be able to do this kind of work that you're wanting to do at this point in time. Look, Empress energy, right? And the Hermit. Take care of yourself as you go through your this is shadow work too. As you go through your internal dialogue, take care of yourself. That is something that, you know, something that I was blessed to understand when I started my shadow work was knowing that it was getting deep and it was getting dark. And the only way that I knew intuitively how to not go into a depression was to do the things that I loved to do frequently. At least once a week, I was taking myself out to different restaurants. I love food. I do. I love food. And I love restaurants. Like, I worked in restaurants forever. So taking myself out to eat to a new restaurant was something that I really loved to do. I love to experience new atmospheres in different restaurants. I love what restaurants do to people and communities and the collective as a whole. Like, everybody gathers in one place to eat. And it's like a common thing, right? So make sure that you're doing the things that really bring light to you while you're doing your dark work, okay, collective? That's the point that I'm trying to make in a very roundabout fucking way. Okay, so we have 9 of air, expecting error. I don't know, I say it like that. It says expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. And then we have 3 of fire, and it says abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time, making long-term plans. And then we have justice was the first card out. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. It's Libra energy. It's really interesting because I'm getting this and I'm even holding it like this, right? Like the scales are on the side of the 3 of fire and the sword is on the side of the 9 of air. So it's almost like justice is coming in, and depending on the attitude, depending on the outlook that you're choosing to take right now, depending on the work, whether you are in avoidance or whether you are in this worry mindset, justice is coming in and serving up what it is that needs to be served up. I heard be mindful. Be mindful of the energy that you're tapping into. I'm also getting that some of you have been in 9 of air energy, and justice's sword is cutting that out of your life and bringing in the 3 of fire energy. The abundance is bringing in the abundance, right? But I feel like in order for that to happen, you have to do this work. You have to pay attention to these generational, these ancestral old wounds that are coming up and need to be healed at this time. You have to do the reflective work, right? Reflective work. What came out? Eight of Water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. There's a lot going on, collective. The spiritual and emotional growth is what it is for me. Spiritual and emotional growth, always. Decide. Make the decision to move on. Make the decision to understand that you are worthy of more. You do deserve abundance, right? You do deserve the opportunity to change your mind. You do deserve the opportunity to change your mind. So change your fucking mind. And then we have 10 of Water. A 10 of Cups. A contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and materials needs are met. Trustworthy relationships. This is the outcome, collective. If you choose to do the work, this is going to be your outcome. This is the I heard the grand finale, and there's 111 on the board, right? This is great fucking energy. You're growing. There's so much growth happening in this time period. There's so much growth. This is another thing with thank you so much. This is something with the gossip columnist, the gossip type mindset, the type of readings that you're choosing to watch and the energies that you're choosing to play in, that can bring you into a 9 of Air energy. Because you're constantly self-gratifying through other people's karma that may or may not be presenting themselves to them, it's also reflecting itself back to you. You're in a space of worrying about your own karma instead of addressing it. Just address it. It's so much easier when you learn the lesson. How you address it is by learning the lesson that you need to learn from whatever used to be, whatever once was, right? Address it. That honest conversation, that honest self-talk, man. It's time to get honest with yourself. And allow your ancestors to be honest with you about their own history is what I'm hearing. It's really funny because I feel like sometimes I'm so comfortable with the dark work because in past lives definitely played in the dark more than the light. I know it. I see it. I get such animalistic vibes sometimes. Like Nordic type animalistic. You know what's crazy? This is so random. There's going to be more cards coming. But this is so random. I was listening to oh God, what is their name? I don't know. It's some Nordic fucking Viking band. And in one of their songs, they had the, my fucking neighbor's such a tool. In one of their songs, they had the words that it meant. And I had never seen it, and I was reading the words as they were singing it, and I started crying. I started crying, and I felt this longing. It was so crazy. I felt this longing to be in that space with those people. The whole song was literally, it was about a ceremony before they went out to go hunt, to get food. And the ceremony, and it was like very prophetic. It's a very prophetic song. And in the song, it talks about the man needing to climb the mountain to meet the woman that was up there that was going to give him the vision like communicate the vision to him, the outcome of whatever adventure, whatever journey it was that he was to take. And they talk about in the song, it's very much like the roughness of making this journey as the man to come up and meet the woman. And for me, it was like I had a total ancestral flashback, and I started crying as if I was the woman who was on top of the fucking mountain waiting to give the prophetic message, and everybody honoring the man for this is again not me. Maybe it is a little bit of a projection, but the honoring of the man in the song for making the trek, but not recognizing the woman for making the trek first. And being the one to communicate the vision. And I just felt this energy. Like my ancestors were like, yeah, bitch. You were that woman. You're that woman they were singing about. So funny. Okay, we got a couple more cards. We have Four of Fire, which is contentment, peace, and abundance, a happy home life, the successful completion of a project, and Page of Fire, which is news of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. So this is having the confidence to allow your skills and your gifts to be at the forefront of things, and accepting the abundance and accepting the newness. And I'm getting like this fresh type energy come through, and allowing justice to serve that to you, because this is truly what you deserve. Everybody deserves abundance. It's whether they choose to be in that frequency or not, right? It's whether they choose to do the work or not. We're like almost an hour and 20 minutes in. This is, I think, the longest reading I've done on YouTube yet. And it's gonna be like 3 hours for this to upload. So I think I'm gonna end it here. One more card. And we're done, collective. One more card and we're done. Thank you guys for being here this long and spending this time with me. I really do appreciate it. If you are not subscribed, I would love a subscribe, because look, I'm not on any other social media platform, and I really want to do lives with you guys. It's something that is I'm being called to do. So a subscribe would help in getting there. 1,000. I have to have 1,000. I see people who do it without 1,000, but I'm not technologically advanced. I don't know how they get away with it. I really don't. Can we get a final card, please? To close out and wrap up this beautiful message. Thank you so much. Magician. Do you believe in magic? Oh no. The Magician and the Five of Water. Yo. Believe in your own magic to change the perception of self and the perception of your surroundings and the perception of life. Like this is you having the power to heal old wounds and to choose the perspective that you want, to choose the perspective that you have moving forward. Are you in a frequency of abundance, or are you repelling the abundance because of your mindset? You have the magic, you have the power to heal. This is a part of your duty here to heal. It's a big fucking challenge. It's a big duty. It's not easy. This is not light work. That's so funny. Have you hear the, I don't know, this isn't a certain, never mind. They say this ain't light work. I think that was like in a Jeezy song. I'm not sure. This ain't light work, motherfucker. This is dark work. This is understanding it. This is the balance. This is holding the power. The more you understand your own demons, the more power you have, collective. But you have to understand that you have demons. If you're a human being, you have demons. Like, it's just a different side of the same fucking coin. Angels and demons are the same, but in a different fucking energy frequency. Like, we're gonna end it there because I'm getting sassy again. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you again for being here. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, if you want the capsules are available. I have ashwagandha, neem leaf, turmeric. I have a detox combination, and I also have lion's mane, freshly ground. Everything is freshly ground. Everything right now is made to order. And it might stay like that. We'll see. We'll see. I love you guys. See you soon.